Welcome to the Work Hard, Play Hard podcast. My name is Rob Murgatroyd, and I am a former doctor turned lifestyle entrepreneur. Each week, I interview some of the best minds on the planet on the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment. Today's episode is a mini-sode that we call Fri-Date with the Wife. In these mini-sodes, my wife Kim and I deconstruct the strategies that we've developed over the last decade to not only grow personally, but to turn our struggles into lessons and create fulfillment in all areas of our lives. Excuses are over. It's time to live. Let's dig into today's topic. All right, before we jump into this episode, I want to invite you to be considered for my Work Hard, Play Hard Mastermind by completing an application at workhardplayhardmastermind.com. So this mastermind is not like any mastermind you may have been to or heard of, I promise you. This mastermind is for 6 to 7 figure entrepreneurs that are working too damn much and aren't taking the time to have amazing experiences around the world with an incredible tribe of people. So every 100 days or so, I drop you into new experiences that are specifically designed to elevate your thinking, to give you new ideas. Look, you get your best ideas not staring at a computer. And actually, this is the way high-level people really collaborate with each other. They do it over a glass of champagne, watching the sunset in the south of France. So if you are ready to do some fun stuff around the world and really, really want to level up your tribe in one shot, fill out an application at workhardplayhardmastermind.com. We'll jump on a call and we'll see if it's a good fit. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Well, Kimberly, you are you're the wife of a surfer.
I was going to say I'm not surfing.
Murgatroyd, how are you?
I am great. How are you doing?
You know, I am good. I am good.
I love the honesty there.
There's so much happening right now in the world. So look, let's talk about, we were thinking today, what would be something that would be useful that we can actually offer people that they could use. And the subject of just sort of like general positivity seemed like it was scratching the itch for most people. So as long-time listeners to the podcast, you know that, I went through some like weird, not anxiety, like weird panic attack shit that was happening to me. All of that's gone. And I've got some great techniques for it. If anybody wants to know more, just go listen to my episode with Tim Bunn, B-U-N-N, a few weeks back. He's a specialist in that area. But beyond that, I'm not having any major, I can't sleep, chest pounding type of thing. That's all gone. Now I'm just pissed off. Now I'm just like walking around and I'm finding myself, there's two things I'm wanting to do. I'm wanting to tell anybody that will listen about the Plandemic documentary that's out and this, sort of like, conspiracy theory that I've been slowly ascribing to. But at the same time, it's a very easy trap to get into, to become consumed with this beast that we are all living with right now, and to become extraordinarily judgmental. Like we went to the beach the other day, yesterday, and
the beach is just opened here with like a laundry list of how you can do and what you can do and what you can't do and all the things.
Yeah. So, it's weird seeing like, I don't know, like families with masks on, or, seeing like a girl walk by in a bikini with a mask. You're not used to that. And then
those were memes like 60 days ago.
Yeah. And now it's reality. And so there's this like, shaming, judgment if you're not wearing a mask, and this.
Well, everybody has opinions, right? So if you go on Facebook, people on both sides of the mask street, people open the government, close the government, open the stores, close the stores, stay in your house, don't stay in your house. I mean, there's literal division on every front, and we are being consistently annihilated by massive public opinion to the point where, like, we have this app here. I'm sure they have this everywhere, but I've only had it here, called Nextdoor. People will take your photo and publicly shame you for whatever they think you're doing wrong. And I just feel like we are going into this rabbit hole between conspiracy theories, politics, no one can decide on a mask. There's just so much coming at us. Today, what we wanted to talk about is how do you rise above that, and how do you get into your higher self? How do you stay in the positive? How do you stay on track and not get sucked into the rabbit hole shit show that is social media right now?
So if we go back sort of 2.5 million years ago to dinosaurs, our brain was designed.
I did that for you.
It wasn't bad. Our brains are designed to scan the environment and look for things that are wrong. And right now, that's not so hard to do. We can find all kinds of things that are unfamiliar, that feel wrong. So I think what has to happen if you truly want to take a stab at sanity during this time is you have to scan the environment for what's right and what's good and what is getting better. And your brain will, if you give your brain the commands to find something great that's happening, its default is to find negative. You don't have to tell it to do anything.
And by the way, finding something great or finding a positive outlook on the situation we're in, that doesn't mean that you don't care about the people that have lost their life or the people that are on the front line. It just means that you're choosing to not live in a fear, panic, negative vibration state, because that's not going to help those people. Like, that is not going to help anyone of us living like that. And today, what I thought we could do, Rob, is give them some real tactical things that they can do that we're doing, because I find myself, I have gone through in the last 3 weeks some serious shifts in a lot of things, and a lot of them were on purpose to maintain a healthy, happy me, for lack of a better word. So I thought we could give them some real tactical things. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Or would you like me to just put you on the spot?
No, you could. There's a million things that I could tell you what I'm doing that's working for me. The non-negotiables maybe is a good way to phrase it.
Everything's negotiable right now.
Well,
just saying.
I have to have, no matter what, I have to have a morning routine that includes some mental and physical things. Right now, I've got some weird injuries from sports. And by sports,
something I never thought I'd hear you say.
Yeah, surfing and things like that.
Bicycling, surfing, running. You're basically a triathlete.
Well, it's all new, right? Gyms are closed, and so I'm having to do new workouts. I'm working out with bands where I used to work out with weights. I've added surfing. I'm adding bicycling, and all. So I've got these weird hey, you're 53 and you've never done this shit before. Why are you doing this to me?
Like your last bike was a Huffy.
You got it, with a banana seat. So for me, the non-negotiable is I do probably about an hour of mobility work in the morning and then an hour of some mental stuff, journaling, meditating, things like that. Those for me are non-negotiables. And then the second non-negotiable is having the time in the afternoon to work out and to just have some downtime, to just be able to get out of the house. We have a 5-year-old here, so we're, Kim's doing mommy school, and I've got to make sure that you've got time to be able to do your workouts. So it's just taking that, that mental time. You know what I mean?
Keep in mind when he says that he's doing this hour of, mobility, hour of that, he's waking up at 5 a.m. to do these things. So it's not like it's all quarantine, and we're sleeping till 11:30 over here. You're waking up at 5 a.m. every morning to make sure you get in the things that you see as non-negotiables for yourself and for your sanity. Now, for me, what has shifted for me and the things that I've really looked at doing is who in my life when I talk to them, does my energy get sucked out of me? Or does it negatively leave, like, does it leave me in a negative state?
That's a good one.
And those people I have specifically moved away from. And I don't mean it in a mean way. I'm not like, peace out, you're negative. That's not what I mean. I mean the people that consist, like someone that gossips, that lowers your vibration. Someone that's like a constant complainer but doesn't take any action, lowers your vibration. To maintain my own sanity, I usually do okay with people like that, and I can kind of duck in and out, and still control my positivity and my, positive outlook on things. But I found that with the negative spiral of everything and add that shit to it, I was like, So I had to really take inventory, I guess is a good word, of who is lowering my mental health, lowering my vibration, who's impacting me negatively in an energetic way. And I've had to kind of shift and move away from that. That's one thing that I've had to do to kind of protect my energy and protect my sanity. Because, at the end of the day in all of this quarantining, I want to come out like a happy, healthy person. But more than that, I want Sophia to not have a massive negative impact. It's already bad enough that when we go out and we see her friends that they have to maintain 6 feet apart and they wear a mask and they got to do this and they got to do that. Like, that's already bad enough for them because they don't get it. And they don't get that why this is there. They understand it's a virus, but it feels unnatural. And I don't want her home life to have this negative vibration. So that's one of the things that I'm personally doing.
The next tip that I would give would be the reverse of the tip that you just gave, or the flip side of the tip that you just gave, which is to spend your time with people who are not doing the things that you mentioned. For example, my surf instructor is a 70-year-old gentleman I love. I mean, I feel like, Tuesdays with Maury, I feel like this is Saturdays with Kippy. He's this lifeguard, but so much more. He's this super deep spiritual guy, and it's remarkable for his age, his fitness ability. I was showing Kim last night pictures of him in Bali surfing 20-foot waves,
a month ago.
Yeah. Like it's
he's 70.
And the reason why I bring that up is to be somebody who's 70 years old and still be interested in surfing, able to surf like that, wanting to do surf lessons tells you a lot about who that kind of person is. And, when I got in his Scooby-Doo van the other day to go surfing, we're sitting there and he said, I hadn't seen him since this whole COVID thing happened. And he said, we're going to have a happy day today. And I said, we are? He said, yeah, we're not going to talk about COVID. We're not going to discuss it. We're going to have fun. Everything we're going to do today is fun. Deal? And I wanted to talk to him about pandemic. I wanted to ask him what his thoughts were. I wanted to ask him about how he's been coping with it. But I respected him because he was setting a boundary and a tone for me to say, hey, I don't want to go there. He didn't make apologies for not wanting to discuss it. He didn't have to give any disclaimer about, I hope people are healthy. I hope people are safe.
He just wanted to go and surf. He just said, I want to let this go. I want to let it go. And so what it did was it created a container, a bubble
for me to operate within. And for that moment, for those couple of hours that we were out there, I felt like I took a vacation, which I kind of did. So
find the higher vibing people.
Find the higher vibing people. I am just as guilty right now myself of going down the rabbit hole, mostly because I'm trying to understand what the hell this is about. But even to use that as an excuse that I want to understand, I think it's better to just find somebody high vibe that doesn't want to get into it, have a good time, and kind of a little fake it till you make it ish and just go on with your life like it's not there. Because the truth is, we all know it's there. Like
you can open your phone and you're inundated with everything.
Yeah. So
I can't log into my bank account without seeing COVID on the top. Like you can't do anything without it.
You go on Instagram and say, how can we help you with COVID?
Right.
It's like, thank you for calling COVID.
Yeah. I mean, so that's that. So, reassess your life and who you're spending most of your time with, talking to on FaceTimes, Instagram, whatever it is. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm being very mindful of what information I'm consuming. So where Rob's going in on pandemic, I'm over here with my fingers in my ears most of the time, and I'm trying to avoid it because you can go into an endless amount of crazy on both sides of the fence. And it's not going to serve me because at the end of the day, I just need to follow whatever we're doing next. And I have to just do the best that I can in the situation I have. So what I've been doing is trying to find audios and things that serve me and make it better. So Rob turned me on to Abraham Hicks. And so with Esther Hicks,
Esther Hicks and her collective spiritual guide's name, Abraham.
Yeah.
Google that one.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've listened to, and I've talked about on here before, Gabby Bernstein, who references this many times in her book. So, but I've never actually listened to Esther or anything. So Rob turned me on to a couple of different audios from her. And I now, instead of scrolling my phone at night, consuming the latest COVID update and the latest drama, I am shoving these in my ears. I'm shoving my headphones in my ears and I'm turning off my phone, putting it on airplane mode, and I'm listening to whatever she has to say. And I am having more solid sleep because of that. Mm-hmm. And, when I need to get out, I get out and I go for a walk and I listen to a book that is positive and providing value and not just, mumbling in my ears. Like I'm being very intentional is the word about what I'm doing. And I'm also, you would be very proud of me, Rob, because you always have given me a hard time about opening CNN and telling you all the things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't do that anymore.
I don't, because I don't even open CNN or any of them. Do you want to know where I get my news? This is going to be really funny.
Your spirit guide?
No. I get my news primarily from TMZ because they're the only one that I find right now that doesn't have a dog in the fight. And I just feel...
Because there's no celebrity involved in COVID.
No. And so I feel like I can find out who died, like what celebrity died, whatever big thing I need to know without being clouded by politics. I feel like I can find out from TMZ right now. So like once a day, I open TMZ, I see what's going on, I close it and I move on because none of this is serving me, and anything that, of course, Chris Cuomo does is always fun to me, but mostly on TikTok.
I think there's, and we'll wrap with this. I think there's two things to consider right now. Thing number one is your plans are probably out the fucking window, and your plan for next month or the following month is probably out the fucking window with it too.
Everything is TBA.
So just know that whatever plans that you have had, that being pissed about them isn't going to serve anybody. And it would make the most sense right now, and I'm talking to myself, but what would make the most sense right now is to just roll with it. So to give you an example, we had to cancel our work hard, play hard experience for obvious reasons. Greek islands are effectively closed down during the week we were going to be there. So we had to postpone it for the following year. No big deal, but we still wanted to take a trip. So we're like, okay, well, let's just go to San Sebastian. So today we looked, and San Sebastian Spain is not allowing visitors. So, on one hand, they're opening up. On another hand, they're not allowing anybody to come into the country. So that's off the table. But instead of bitching about that, what I'm learning to do now, which I am not good at, which is rolling with it and saying, okay, well, if Spain is closed and I can't get into pretty much any country, maybe Sweden, I don't even know if they'll let me in, but pretty much I can't get into any country. But I do have a big country of my own. So where could we go that could be a fun trip? So I'm trying to to mitigate and make things better. The beach just opened, so I'm going surfing. Our friends, Chris Harder and Lori Harder, they rented a boat and they went out on the water.
And I'm so jelly because they saw dolphins.
And they went out and they saw dolphins.
So we need to go do that.
So the point is that, there are many, many things that you're looking at going, yeah, but I wanted to do that and I want to do that and I want to do that. And none of those things I could do. Yeah, all of that is true. And it's not serving you. What are the other things that you can do? Could you go surfing? Could you rent a boat and go dolphin? Like I'm in the examples I gave. So that would be the first one. And the other thing is this weird gratitude for crazy shit. Like, walking by, this was crazy. Where was I? I guess one of these things just reopened. I guess it was the beach. The caution tape was taken down. And I guess it was the caution tape that was on like the entrance to the beach. That's where it was. It was taken down. So looking down at these little yellow pieces of tape with black lettering on the floor.
Or in the trash can. I have this unbelievable gratitude for, because it's like the Berlin Wall, it's like this little sign of, well, that's a little dramatic, but I can be dramatic, but it's a little dramatic.
It's this little sign of things are going to get better. So the point is to do the best you can to
protect your energy, be intentional with how you're spending your time, and be grateful for the little things that are in your life now and coming down the pipeline soon, hopefully.
Well, there you have it, kids. From our bunker to yours. Have a great week, and we'll see everybody next Friday. Bye-bye. All right. Thanks for listening. If you love this episode and you know someone that needs some help in either stepping up their work hard game or their play hard game, it would mean the world to me if you shared this podcast with them to help me get this movement out there. So if you like what you heard, head on over to iTunes, take 30 seconds, and leave me a 5-star review, and I will be forever grateful. So until the next episode, excuses are over. It's time to live.